Jack was a high-ranking executive in a corporate company, around 50 years old, earning over $1 million a year. His life was structured, disciplined, and filled with responsibilities. After attending a conference for a week, he finally arrived at the airport around 8 p.m., exhausted from back-to-back meetings and formal discussions. As he stepped out of the terminal, he breathed in the cool night air, relieved to be heading home. He called his wife, informing her that he'd be home in about an hour and a half. There was no excitement in her response, just a casual acknowledgement. The company driver greeted him respectfully, took his luggage, and carefully placed it in the trunk. The man had been working for him for years, always punctual and professional. As they began their journey, Jack leaned back into the seat, glancing at the brightly lit streets outside. The roads were packed, and soon they found themselves stuck in a heavy traffic jam, moving at a snail's pace. The honking of cars and flashing lights made the wait frustrating, but Jack was used to it. He sighed and checked his phone again. No new notifications. Suddenly the driver's phone rang, the loud ringtone breaking the silence. "Come home soon. I made your favorite, grilled steak and mashed potatoes." His wife's voice was clear, even from the back seat. Jack could hear the warmth in her tone, the affection in her words. "Shh, keep it down. The boss is here. I'll be back in an hour," the driver whispered, lowering his voice before hanging up. Jack watched the driver's face, noticing the slight smile as he put his phone away. Jack couldn't help but smile. It was a small moment, yet it spoke volumes. He shifted his gaze outside the window, watching the vehicles crawl forward, lost in his own thoughts. 10 minutes later, the phone rang again. The driver sighed, but there was no irritation in his voice. "Where are you? Drop him off and come home quickly. I'll make roast beef and vegetables your favorite," his wife urged. Her concern was evident, and Jack could tell she genuinely wanted him home soon. All right, I'm on my way," the driver replied. There was an ease in their conversation, an unspoken bond that Jack could sense. At a red light, the phone rang once more. The driver smiled before answering. "Dad, hurry up, I'm waiting for you. I'm starving. The steak smells amazing." It was his daughter this time, her voice filled with excitement. Jack observed the driver's expression change, his face softened, and his eyes lit up. "Okay, sweetie, I'll be there in half an hour. If you're hungry, start without me," the driver said, his voice filled with patience. "No, I'll wait for you," she insisted. Jack glanced at his own phone, hoping for a message, a missed call, something. There was nothing. He sighed and placed it back in his pocket, his mind wandering as the car inched forward through traffic. A few minutes later, the phone rang again. The driver immediately picked it up. "Where are you, son? Your dad's waiting for you at the gate, swatting mosquitoes. Hurry up!" This time it was the driver's mother. There was concern in her voice, a longing that only a mother could express. Even in the air-conditioned car, Jack wiped the sweat off his brow. His collar suddenly felt tight and he loosened it slightly. He looked at his phone again, still no calls. The empty screen seemed to mock him. By the time they reached home, an hour and a half had passed. The driver's phone had rung 7 or 8 times, each call filled with love and anticipation. Once they arrived, the driver quickly got out, carried Jack's luggage inside, and placed it carefully near the entrance. Jack stepped inside and looked around. His wife was sitting comfortably on the couch, engrossed in a TV show, laughing at something on the screen. She barely glanced at him. His daughter, curled up with her phone, greeted him with a quick, "Hi, Dad," before returning to whatever she was watching. His parents sat in another room, absorbed in their favorite show, unaware of his arrival. As the driver's phone rang again, he smiled and said, "Good night, sir," before stepping out. Jack watched as the man walked away, his pace quickening, eager to return home. His wife chuckled, looking at the time. "Looks like the flight was delayed. I didn't cook today since I went to the ladies' meeting. It's only 9:30. How about we go out for dinner? Freshen up, and I'll get ready too." She got up, stretching as if it was just another ordinary evening. Jack remained silent for a moment, his thoughts swirling. He thought to himself, "I have everything, yet it feels like I have nothing. He has nothing, yet he has everything a simple person could wish for." With a heavy heart and a forced smile, He nodded and walked toward the washroom. But deep inside a question lingered. In my next life, could I be the driver instead? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more interesting and inspiring stories. Share your thoughts on this story in the comments below and join us next time for another uplifting narrative.